Hey guys, great to have you here today. And in this video, we're going to talk about one of the major things that kills your distance, causes the ball to launch low, get a lot of spin, and just fall out of the air. And it has to do with your setup. I got some really easy keys for you. You get these setup pieces down, you're going to get a lot more power, a lot more speed, and you're going to be out driving your buddies. Let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, great to have you here on YouTube. I have some awesome videos coming out for you this year. Just remember to click that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when we come out with those new videos and you won't miss out. Okay guys, so let's talk about first where this comes from. The main thing is, and when I see people losing a lot of distance, is I'm gonna do the opposite of what we're getting to later in this video. So I'm gonna set up with my body too much up and down, my head is too far left, my right hand is too much on top of the club, and my right elbow is out, my right shoulder's high. Now what's gonna happen there is that's gonna put me in a position where it's really easy to chop down on this golf ball. I'm gonna get that low launch, not a lot of speed or power, and I'm just not gonna have very much distance. Let's go ahead, see what the flight scope has to say on these numbers. So, let's see here. My club head speed was 116.5. That's pretty daggone good. That's pretty high. I should be getting some pretty nice distance with that, even with these range balls. My carry distance was 233. Not very good for 116 miles an hour club head speed. My total distance was 247. So that ball is basically just kind of coming up, floating, starting low, floating up, and then just dying out of the air. What we'd like to have happen is the opposite of that. We want to have that ball launch high, just like the pros are doing. Those long hitters in your local groups, they're launching that ball high. It looks like it's going a mile in the air, and it just keeps flying and flying and flying. We want to get that ball preferably to turn over a little bit right from left. And we also want to come in from what we call the slot, or from the inside. So we can come from the inside, release that club head, and get a lot of speed. So let's recap on the wrong way, and then let's go over the correct way to do this. So number one, I want my spine to be tilted away from the target. So in the incorrect way, if I go ahead and put my club, the handle of my club against my shirt buttons, my handle on my hands on the belt buckle, if I get tilted kind of here to the left like this, I'm going to be over that ball. Now my body's in a position where if I just swing natural, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop down over top, really come in steep into this golf ball. What I want you to do is go ahead and tilt a little bit back to the right. What you'll notice is that my chin is now behind the golf ball, my eyes are looking at the back of the golf ball, and now my body's in a position where I can come in from this slot from the inside and really crank this with a lot of club head speed. Number two, we talked about that right arm and right shoulder being on top. I'm going to take my hand, the incorrect way is where my palm of my hand is kind of facing down on top of this club. That's a very weak position. That's going to make the club want to open up. When my hand goes to neutral, you'll see how that club face just naturally opens up a little bit without me even thinking about it. So what I have to do there is I have to take that hand and bring it underneath the club. I want to feel like my palm is more under. I'm exaggerating here a little bit, but a little bit of this is really going to help. And when I do that, take a look at my right elbow. My elbow would be out and facing toward this camera back here. As that elbow comes in, look how my tilt gets better, my slot or my position I would be swinging from gets better, and my right hand gets better all at the same time. So this elbow is the real key here. If we can get that under, man, we're going to get a lot more swing speed. So I've got my tilt, hand under, elbow in. Now let's try to get a little bit more from the inside and see if we can hit that big booming draw. Let's try it out. There we go, hit that one pretty nice. Went pretty straight, we got some wind blowing it back to the right, but that was pretty good. I'm guessing the swing speed was a little bit higher because I was in a more powerful position, but I guarantee you that distance was a lot better. So 120 club head speed, I did get a little bit more swing speed just because I was in a more powerful spot, and my carry distance went up with a good 30 yards. My total distance went up quite a bit too, almost 40 yards, up to 280. With a range ball, they're not going to fly as far, so 280 is hitting it pretty good when we don't have any wind helping. It's actually hurting us a little bit today. So get that arm inside. That's a powerful position. If I was setting up to this ball, if I had a sledgehammer here, I really feel like I could just hammer away at it and really crank up that swing speed. All right guys, so if you're joining us from YouTube, I call the number one fundamental in golf the stable fluid spine. And that's where we talk about getting this tilt away, staying there at the top of the swing, and then coming down with the tilt away also. And when you stay in that posture and you can just rotate back and through without having a lot of movement in your swing, it's pretty easy to hit a golf ball. It's very, very consistent. Well, one of my best videos from the stable fluid spine section that goes over this, I'm going to play here in a second, a preview of that. Go ahead and click the card that pops up on your screen or the link down below in the description. We'll start making your golf swing a lot simpler. Let's go ahead and get started. What is it that allows us to have consistency in the golf swing? And what is it that allows that consistency to fall apart and create some bad rounds? That's what we're going to talk about in this video today. Let's go ahead and get started. Everything that happens in the golf swing is initially dictated by what happens with the spine. So if we're looking at a skeleton, my spine's in the center of my body and everything else in my body is attached to my spine. So my shoulders are attached to my spine, my arms attached to my shoulders, and then my arms are going to be actually swinging the club. Now when I see players that are really struggling, those guys that are hitting it out in the woods right, they're hitting in the left, then they have a few good holes, what's happening is their spine angle is changing. As they go to the top of the swing, maybe they have a reverse pivot, spine's angled back, falling back to the right, but there's a lot of inconsistency in that. And what happens is, as good athletes as we all are, the #1 fundamental in golf, correct, keep it nice and stable, but fluid, we're gonna be able to hit those good clean shots time and time again, and that's what I'm gonna show you in this series of videos.
Henrik Stenson, top 5 in both driving distance and accuracy. Rory McIlroy here, playing some of the best golf that anybody's ever played, and you can see just how stable.